Good morning, everyone. It looks like we have the rings of life, in the video again. So I apologize for that, but nevertheless, we're still going to get the news out. I wonder if I move that back some, if that'll help. No, not really. Okay. Anyway, let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. I think you will find it very, very interesting. And to Thailand backpacker, you have a legitimate point, and we're going to talk about that legitimate point that you made. Also, MedTech, good to see you. Griffin, good to see you. Tim, glad you're here. Robert, Mac, and Robert N, glad you guys are here. Good morning to all. And let me read the description here for you. So, my hashtags I used were Thailand Today, Thailand News, and Thailand Travel. That's going to be pretty much to encompass the video. Phil Toast, my man, how are you? Good to see you. Also want to apologize. I forgot to hook up my mic this morning before the live stream started. So you're hearing me bright and clear and beautiful on my laptop mic. I'm very sorry about that. This video is a travel news update on Thailand today. Today, international travel to Thailand is almost pointless. Thailand's tourism industry is basically shut down. The vast majority of travel agents, hotels, and tourism activities are closed or operate under a curfew. Thailand's famous nightlife and entertainment venues are closed, or they are operating at extremely low capacity with curfews in place. Shopping malls and restaurants have curfews. In some cases, restaurants are only available for delivery. That would be in declassified dark red zones. Good morning, Roger McGee. Good to see you, sir. Thailand is going to remain without a thriving tourism sector until it offers the people living here jabs, drops in mandatory 14-day quarantine, and allows tourists to feel safe when traveling to Thailand. For months, the Thai government has been putting together plans to get its population to herd immunity, and for months, they have suffered delay after delay. I am not criticizing the Thai government in any way, as we do not know what the cause of the delays are. Thailand will see international tourism return, but will it be too late? The economic consequences may be so bad, it may take Thailand years to recover. I certainly hope that is not the case. And we're going to answer some of those questions. We're going to look at some news agencies and give you some of those answers today, as a matter of fact. Yes, my own text, Mitt. So, let's just get right into it. I want to talk about the dangerous precedent that is being set and why this could become a problem for Thailand. I'm in a Facebook group that relays a lot of information, and yesterday this was one of the posts that came up, and I'm going to read this to you. This is off of ThaiVisa.com. Okay, this guy copy and pasted the link from ThaiVisa.com. I want you to think about, hey, there's Robert setting the PayPal link. I'll pin that to the top of the screen. And 1 second, guys, my telephone's ringing. That doesn't usually happen. We'll let somebody else talk to that. The PayPal link is at the top of the screen, and if you would like to contribute to the growth of the channel or you just enjoy my content, feel free to use it. We can always use more equipment and hopefully a camera that will get rid of these rings. That would be nice. Anyway, Alderman Asia, good morning, sir. Could become, I submitted already is. Yep, Robert, there's my Cash App number as well. If you send contributions via Cash App, that is my Cash App tag. So feel free to contribute as much as you like. Now, let's talk about this precedent that is being set here and what it could do and what it could mean for Thailand in general. Because I won't say this is worrying. I won't say it's bad. I'll just say it's a little bit concerning. Buriram becomes first Thai province to penalize refusal of the jab. Okay, so if you don't get a jab, they're going to penalize you. The northeastern province of Buriram has become the first province in Thailand to mandate the vax for all individuals age 18 and older, with possible penalties as high as 2 years in prison and a maximum of 60,000 baht. I want to let that sink in for just a minute. Buriram governor urged every individual aged 18 or more living or working in Buriram to submit their just got to update 3,000 new infections today, a little bit over, and 17 people who are no longer with us. To submit their illness risk assessment and form and apply for the jab through the publicly available channels by May 31st. The channels include door-to-door approach by public health volunteers, online registration, or personal visits to hospitals or health offices in the province. Failure to apply by May 31st is liable to 1 month in prison and or a fine of 10,000 baht. There's a full story that you can read from Thai PBS World on this. I'm going to tell you something. There are people in this world, Indonesia's doing it too. Wow. There are people in this world that are not going to be able to do it. They're just not going to be able to, simply due to underlying health conditions and everything else. Rob, I hear you loud and clear, buddy. I live here, so I have to be very careful of what I say. But that's concerning to me. Very concerning. Very, very concerning. You know, as a person who has underlying health conditions, I can tell you that it's not a good feeling knowing that there's no choice. But for me personally, I'm going to get it anyway. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to travel. So it's not like it's a huge deal. For me, I'm just going to do as I'm told, get the jab and hope and pray for the best. That's really all I can do. But that is a piece of news that is concerning. Thailand has realized the importance of and don't get me wrong, I believe there is a significant amount of importance of getting the population inoculated as soon as possible. Otherwise, this country is going to economically dry up. And yeah, I'm going to confirm. Good point, Tim. So that's just some news that I wanted to share with you guys that's coming out of Thailand right now. What kind of precedent does that set? I don't know. Thank you, Ross. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that. Just read about, if you're just joining in, just read about Buriram implementing penalties for not getting the jab. And they were quite severe, to be honest with you. Don't know what kind of precedent that's going to set, but we'll see. We'll see about that. I'm happy to go back and revisit that later. MedTech says acceptance of vax and acceptance of the Chinese vax are two different requests. It is what it is, brother. That's for sure. The Ralph says that's not how you convince folks on getting shots that is safe. Kind of playing into it. Yep. You got a fair point there, Ralph, for sure. Thailand backpacker, I am sure people who have a medical condition that will prevent it won't be required, but will have to be really serious. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. They're really, really serious about getting these jabs into people. and rightfully so. But at the same time, I can't say there are alternatives on YouTube. I can't say that. What I can say is, the right thing to do by society standards is to get the jab and move on with your life. That's all I can say. Filtho says, also remember that it is at least symbolically a monarchy. Power/authority comes from the top, not the people. You have a very good point there, Filthos. Very good point. And that is kind of what we're seeing. And it's a little bit, makes me a little bit nervous. Not too bad, but a little bit nervous. Roger says, get a jab or isolate for life. Stick me. Yeah, you got. I hear you loud and clear, Roger. I'm pretty much. I feel the same way. I'm going to take the chance and do it myself. So Filtho says a different mindset. I agree. It definitely is. MedTech says I told girlfriend to ensure she has the AZ. Nothing wrong with that. Rob P says it's going to be interesting with the side effects. We don't know what that could be, so we'll just have to wait and see. This video is not intended in any way to scare anybody or to make anybody uncomfortable or anything like that. This is just a video that is telling you what's going on, and it's purely informative. This is not scientific research on this channel, so don't take it as scientific research or medical advice in any way, form, or fashion. I'm just reading you the news. Tim says, I wonder what kind of precedent that would set. Thailand Backpacker said, I got both jabs now, but not the Chinese one. Yep. And I think the Chinese one's the one that's rolling in. I'm going to read about that in just a minute. Tim says, I wonder what kind of precedent that would set, not so much about the V, but about trusting Thai government from here on out. It's a great question. That's a great question. It does make you wonder for sure. The Ralph says, understand, though, the authority is trying to get things moving, just a little too blunt for me. Understood. They're definitely trying to get things moving. That's for sure. Let's see. Moderna. Okay. Roger says, Matt, wish I had. Matt says, two-shot. Freedom King says, don't do it, Hoss. Well, don't have too much of a choice, man. Unfortunately, I appreciate your insight into it, but in order to do the things I want to do here, I'm going to have to. Tim says, funny an American talking about trusting the government. I know, right? We're not even going to go there. That's for sure. Filtho says, Ralph, you come from a culture that values individual thought and action, not conformity and unity. Totally different perspectives. Another very good point, Filtho. Very good point. So, what are they going to do? Let's talk about what they've done today. This was actually yesterday here, but it's today in America. I want to read you this article. Another 500,000 doses of the Chinese one arrive in Thailand today, it says. And it says the Embassy of the People's Republic of China stated on social media earlier this afternoon, May 14th, 2021, that the latest batch of 500,000 doses had arrived in Bangkok from China earlier today. For those of you that don't know, the number has went from 5 to 6 million people they plan to jab over the course of the next 2 months, like June and July. There is Jim Pell in the house. What's up, Jim? Good to see you, man. Good evening to everyone here in the U.S. Good morning, LOL. The lucky people who are not here in the U.S. I hear you, man. Tim says, I did not know China was making it. As far as I know, they are. It says this comes as Thailand is accelerating its efforts to magic shot within the kingdom, specifically Bangkok, as a current outbreak of infections in the country causes further damage to the economy and potentially could set back plans for reopening to badly needed foreign tourism later this year. Foreign tourism is basically non-existent right now for the simple fact of what I read in the description. Places are closed. There's nothing to do. There's no nightlife. There's really no reason for tourists to come right now. There's no upside. It is what it is. It says this also comes only a few weeks before doses of locally produced AZ are set to be available in the country, with manufacturers stating to the press earlier this month that there have been no setbacks or delays in this plan. The doses will undergo standard quality review by the Ministry of Public Health before being distributed to provinces and areas as deemed by the Department of Disease Control to help control the current situation in Thailand. This is from the PathiaNews.com, by the way. Pattaya is expected to get at least 20,000 doses of this current batch, notes the Pattaya News. As both a deep red zone, according to the Thai government's current color coding scales that rank provinces based on a variety of factors around the disease, and as a priority zone for economic growth. The vast majority of doses, however, are expected to be distributed in communities in and around Bangkok, the Bangkok area that are currently experiencing localized infections and compose the majority of the clusters and outbreaks in the country. So that's a little bit of information for you. It looks like they're trying to do a little something to at least get started. Now they've already postponed some stuff. I want to read about that for a little bit. Jim said, let's see. Jim says, as long as my Uber driver has gas, I have gas. LOL, Uber everywhere. I hear you, brother. MedTech says, I wouldn't trust it, not after Chinese medicine, baby. Food scandal. Rob P says, hottest Philippine in Thailand went viral. Yeah, I wish it would have gone viral. That would have been nice. Need to share that video for sure. If you haven't seen that video, I put it out yesterday. You guys take the time to watch it. It's worth watching. It really is. Share it on your social media, get some people to the channel, and let's get it rocking for the summer here. Tim says, Jim, I don't have to wear a mask anymore. Great day. That's true. Don't want to talk too much about that, Tim, because I don't want YouTube popping down, cracking down on what we're trying to say here. Because again, not trying to scare anybody, not trying to do any of that stuff. It is what it is. Tim says she was hot. Yes, she is very, very, very hot. Freedom King, declare living standing pursuant to UCC 138, and you're not under their jurisdiction as the living man, not under maritime law. I haven't heard that before. That's very interesting, and I will take a look into that to see. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a picture of your statement right now and see. I'll look that up after the live stream. Thank you very much for the information. Very much appreciated. The Ralph said, lots of people in the U.S. I hear have gotten first poke but aren't getting the second poke. The local authorities are working on incentives to get folks to get the second one. Yep, I've heard that too, and we don't really know why that is, but it is what it is for whatever reason. Okay, so this is also from the Pattaya News. It says number of initial Sino jabs for Pattaya and Banglamung area, in mid-May decreased. Inoculation date slightly postponed. The number of the magic shots scheduled for a mid-May arrival in Banglamung and Pattaya has been decreased from 30,000 doses to 20,000 doses, according to city officials. This evening, May 14, 2021, The jab dates have also been slightly postponed due to lack of trained medical staff for their first major batch of the magic shots. The Pattaya City Deputy Mayor told the Pattaya media today, including the Pattaya News, the number of magic shots set for mid-May has been decreased from 30,000 to 20,000 doses. The Pattaya News notes that we had previously been given a number of 40,000 earlier this month, although that has also seemingly been reduced due to ongoing outbreaks of higher urgency in the Bangkok area. It is what it is. The Chonburi Public Health Office said the reduction is primarily due to the limited doses available at a national level at this exact moment, and that other areas were a higher priority due to the ongoing problem. This is expected to be resolved, however, in only a few short weeks, with the majority of Thailand's magic shots expected to start arriving from locally produced AZ. We are still on track for our plans to reopen to foreign tourism by October. I don't see it happening, but we'll talk about that in a minute. This batch was originally scheduled for a jab date of May 17th or 18th. However, we have had a problem with not enough medical staffers for the program, and safety is our top priority, so we will be delaying the plan very slightly. The deputy mayor continued, quote, before we had planned for 5 places for the jabs. I'm quoting, but I'm paraphrasing as well. But now has been decreased to 4 places, which are at the Bangkok Pattaya Hospital, Muang Pattaya School, Pong Municipality, and Eastern Indoor Athletic Stadium. We will inform the public through our social media channels such as Pattaya PR and Chonburi PR when these dates are in place, as well as those who have previously registered through online channels. The city has continually said foreigners will be able to get a jab under the free program, although that registration process has not yet taken place. Banglamung has previously inoculated high-risk occupations like medical staff, first responders, law enforcement, and city leadership. This delay is only for the current round of inoculations, notes the Pattaya News, with many more rounds still scheduled as the city plans to get the vast majority of the local population included within only a few short months. The city is planning to allow walk-in if supplies are available in the future, but those dates are not yet available. The plan, according to Pattaya City and multiple Thai tourism associations, the Thai Tourism Authority, is to get 70% of the local population inoculated in time to open for high season in Q4 this year to people who have had tourists who have had their jabs with no queue, and reopen the city's shuttered tourism industry. So very interesting information. I have contradictory information for that as well from another source. Let's see, where was I here? Rob P says Phuket July 1st, yes or no? No. The Ralph said, not trying to justify their methods, Jeremy, but the Thai government is probably scared about fallout. I mean, absolutely. You can justify their efforts. Nobody is criticizing the Thai government in any way. Like, as I said when I read the description, we don't know what caused the delays. We don't know what happened. We don't know why the delays are still happening. We just know that they're happening. It could have been supply line. It could have been manufacturing. It could have been transportation. It could have been, there's 100 things that could have gone wrong that are completely outside the Thai government's control. That being said, there's nothing to blame on them for sure. Roger McGee says no on Phuket. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Rory goes, Singapore has just started a 1-month LD due to a new mystery strain. Not good. We're going to slap that one down, Roy, because we don't want YouTube kicking us in the head. But thank you for sharing. Lyle said 13 up and 3 down. Yeah, we need about 40 or 50 likes on this video. That like button seems to really help the algorithm. So if you could push it, I sure would appreciate it. I'm here now. You may begin, Lyle says. Lyle's in the house. Freedom King says that's fraud law. Legal is not lawful. Statutory legal fiction. Please stand your ground as the living man. I will look up what you wrote down, Freedom King, or what you put in your message, and I will gladly take a look at it. He will probably explain, no doubt. Let's see. Let's continue on here. Let's go back to one of my favorite news sources, the Tiger. Air establishing connection. So we want to talk about the original plans that they had. Give me 1 second, guys. So you guys heard about the inmates at Thai prisons that were causing the hey, Robert Mack, glad you got off the phone. The inmates that had the numbers way up. But today, I don't know if that includes inmates or not, but there's 3,095 new ones today. So trust me, Thailand is pushing hard to get the jabs out to people and to get it to be a very safe place. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about the CCSA real quick for a minute, because that is an important factor here. CCSA to discuss the zoning tomorrow. Restrictions likely to loosen in some provinces. Thailand's color coding zone for the illness control will be discussed tomorrow by the CCSA. Some restrictions are likely to be lifted in some provinces, such as the ban on dine-in services at restaurants and dark red zones, and that's really good news. So that means you could go to a restaurant and dine in again. That would be fantastic. The color scale goes from green to dark red, with green provinces reporting no recent infections. Under the current zoning, all provinces are either orange, red, or dark red. Cases remain high in Bangkok, the epicenter of infections, and a dark red zone under maximum control. But many provinces have reported little to no recent infections. Those provinces are likely to be reclassified with fewer restrictions. The current zoning went into effect on May 1st. The CCSA will review the zoning and restrictions tomorrow. Many provinces are likely to be reclassified on the zoning scale, with restrictions potentially loosening up. CCSA will make the announcement tomorrow. So hopefully on tomorrow's live stream, I will be able to give you some information on that. I see Jim and Robert, the other Robert. MedTech says fear is key, 100%. Freedom says good luck, my man. Reckable on Twit, love to help. I will. Hang on, let me take a picture of that too. I can talk to you more on Twitter or PM you on there. Would love to learn more about what you're talking about there for sure. And thank you for the information. I'm always open minded to anything, guys. So don't think just because I've said that this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it, that's the way that my mind's set, and it's just going to stay that way, because you guys know I'm willing to adapt, change, overcome, conquer. Chris says, hi from Michigan. Off-topic question, when is the next Thai holiday? Are you able to celebrate the 4th of July with a barbecue cookout? Definitely not, I don't think. Let's see here. Little ding ding. Interesting. Thank you for that piece of information that I just received. I appreciate that. Off topic, next Thai holiday, I'm not sure. Able to celebrate the 4th of July? Definitely not this year. That's for sure. Now, Earlier in the week, we were told that foreigners would be able to participate in the jab program, even possibly in the walk-ins. We were told that everybody everywhere would have a chance to get it. But according to the Tiger here, they have changed that, and I want to talk about that. Well, I know you guys wanted to talk about Phuket, so let me read you what I have about Phuket too. Thanks, Griffin. So only 877 were from prisons. Okay, thank you. Mark says, "Hey, Jeremy, tonight I'm dining in at Shake Shack in West Hollywood. Cheese fries hit the spot after a year and a half. I hear you, brother. Sounds good. Seems now is a good time to travel to Rayong and Ko Chang. Probably." Ross is responding to Chris C and says, "Thailand never declared independence from the British on 4th of July, so no fireworks that day." Going, Ross. All right, here's your update on Phuket's inoculation campaign, or jab campaign, I should say. So far, around 22% of the population in Phuket has been jabbed against the illness, according to the CCSA. The island province aims to jab 70% of the population by the end of June. Officials remain committed to the original plan to reopen to vaccinated foreign travelers by July 1st, as ambitious as it sounds given the current situation with cases on the island. Nationwide, only 645,500 people, which is about 1% of the population in Thailand, have received both doses, or both jabs. Here are some updates on Phuket's immunization campaign. Always a good time to visit Rayong. I hear you, Ross. All right, here we go. Phuket is set to receive 140,000 doses of AZ next month. Those who are over 60 years old and who have registered for the jabs will be the first to get it. The inoculations with the AZ jab will start on June 7th. The island province continues to use the Sino in its mass campaign. Phuket just received 200,000 doses of the Sino and will start the next round of jabs on May 18th. Another 200,000 doses will arrive around the end of the month and to be used as a second jab for those injected this month. Expats working in tourism-related business or in the education sector in Phuket are allowed to register for a jab under the government campaign, according to the Phuket Health Office. Foreigners working for businesses outside of the tourism or hospitality sector will be included in the next phase of jabs, a source told Phuket News. Foreigners must have a valid work permit to register. So that is the news on Phuket. What am I missing here? People are typing. Those numbers are not good. MedTech says, "Have any of you had hair replacement surgery, especially in Turkey?" There you go, Jeremy. Yep, that's a little bit hopeful, but at the same time, I need you. By the way, the mode jab is now approved in Thailand. I want to. Here we go. Here we go. This is the article I wanted to read. This is important for expats. Okay, if you're living in Thailand, work in Thailand, retired in Thailand, listen to this piece of information. Very, 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 very important. Expat jabs in Thailand likely to be delayed. An official from the Bangkok Metropolitan Association, or BMA, says foreigners may face a slight delay in receiving their jabs. The director of the BMA's health department says while the health ministry aims to jab everyone living in Thailand, foreigners may have to wait until August. I'll give that a minute to sink in. As I have said before, the health ministry plans to jab Thais first. We will try our best to jab Thais within 2 months, namely June and July, and then try to open foreign resident registration in August. He stresses that the government still intends to jab everyone living in the kingdom, regardless of nationality, and urges everyone to use the More Palm mobile app to register to minimize the risk of transmission. She says the first people to be jabbed in the government rollout will be healthcare workers and other frontline staff, as well as people with underlying conditions and the elderly, before moving on to the rest of the population, including foreigners. There's another quote about building that 70% number. The government has prepared enough jabs for everyone in Thailand. There have been mixed reports from foreigners who have tried to use the MorePalm app, with most unable to do so, while some with the Social Security number have managed it. In Phuket, expats working in the tourism sector can have their employer register them through Phuket Must Win website effective immediately. The Bangkok Post reports that the BMA, the Bangkok Metropolitan Association, has now confirmed more cases. I'm not going to read the exact numbers there. With people living in close contact with each other. So originally we were told, you could get up and you could do it, but now you can't. Let me tell you how tight Phuket is getting on this thing. Ten says, and what do you do every other guy? Shave off, grow good teeth. Ross says that makes sense, as it knows where you are from and what visa you have. I know, right? Good comment there, Ross. MedTech says, yeah, because it's well known that foreigners don't spread. Yeah. I'm pull that one down. Try not to use the B word if I can help it. Thailand Backpacker says, MedTech feels bad, man. Painful. I don't like to hear painful and bad. So, Phuket tightens restrictions, no parties, and no visits from friends. This was published 2 days ago. And it currently remains in place to the best of my knowledge. Excuse me while I switch over to water here. Tom, I certainly hope not. I hope we come before the soy dogs. I certainly hope so. I think Thailand will take care of us, especially those of us that work here. So we'll see. But Phuket has tightened restrictions. They are very, very serious about opening back up, and it seems that they're trying to set up this thing where you're going to have to come to Phuket first, and then from there go to other areas, because Pattayaa's date for reopening is not until October. I don't really know what. I'm unsure. I'm unclear about why that is, but it is what it is. From Phuket, it says, Thailand Backpacker says, all this news makes you wonder why people come here for ASQ and risk it all. They must be so desperate. Well, I don't know if I would say desperate. I think a lot of people come here thinking that, the end is just around the corner, and if you hit the thumbs up button on this video, it'll make you feel better. And they also come here for, the hope that the tourism is going to increase and people will come back. The economy will boom again, and you will see Thailand life come back to normal a little bit. And in addition to that, you will also see, I think, you may see some of the red tape, some of the bureaucracy around, particularly expats and their visa situation. You may see some of that change. Heard that from a lawyer. May. I'm just saying may. It could happen. Not saying it's going to. Tim says people go to Thailand because, like me, they want to be in paradise. 100%. And Thailand is paradise. It really is. Roger says, nailed it, Tim. Yes, he did. Roy says, it's been reported that the authorities in Chiang Mai are going to jab everybody much sooner. That may be 100% accurate, Roy. I just haven't read it yet. But it makes sense. It makes different provinces are going to get different doses, different. They're going to have different regulations around this stuff. So, from Phuket, let me start this again. From Phuket, no, your friends can't come over. No parties, no drinking with friends, no large gatherings as part of Phuket's efforts to stop the spread. Local authorities have tightened restrictions and say friends are not allowed to gather at private homes. No parties of any kind allowed, no house party, no friends gathering in the residence. Along with temporary closures of some businesses and venues, the order says parties involving alcohol are banned and gatherings of more than 30 people are banned. The only gatherings allowed are religious ceremonies like weddings and funerals. Foreigners, listen to this, foreigners who violate any of Phuket's disease control measures could be deported and lose their permission to stay in Thailand. On Sunday, 2 British men in Phuket were fined 6,000 baht for having a, quote, party. Only 6 people were gathered at the home. Police from the Sreng Tele, I hope I said that right, station came by their home after a call from a neighbor. So basically, it's like they're really putting the crackdown in Phuket. Jay East, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for dropping by. I very much appreciate it. Good to catch one of your streams. If all goes well, we'll be there in October, November. I certainly hope it does, and I hope to see you in October, November. Tim says, the people of Thailand have like a choice to get jabbed or not, like in America. Well, you just heard what I read that came out of Buriram, which is there will be penalties if you don't get it. And so far, the PM and the CCSA have, and this is all in fact, this is not my opinion, I've read it. They've urged people to get the jab. So could we see a policy of you have to have the jab? Probably. It's possible. I won't say probably. I'll just say it's possible. But it's something you have to prepare for if you live here. Ross says, so friends don't let friends be friends. Basically. Thailand Backpacker said they should have just met virtually instead. Why risk it? That's a fair point. Jay East, awareness is high. Thai culture will dictate all Thai citizens get the jab. And I have to say, I pretty much agree with you, but I can't say it for sure because I just don't know. Tim says you can say no, but you better not, just like in America. Well, it is what it is at this point. There's not, there's nothing that stands out other than that one article I read about Buriram. Randy from NYC here. Hey, Randy from NYC. Do you think that planning a trip to Pattaya for February 2022 is a feasible plan, or am I just kidding myself? I'm looking forward to playing on Walking Street once again. Well, Walking Street's going to be different. That's first and foremost. They're already doing a bunch of remodeling down there. However, there are plenty of other places to play in Pattaya, and I'm sure you know that. I think February 2022 is a safe bet on being able to come back, especially with the forward thinking, or with some forward thinking, and then the push that Thailand is initiating right now for the jabs and to make it safe for people. So I think February 22 would be reasonable. However, I said that by this time, about 6 months ago, I was saying by this time, everything would be thriving and back open again. So what do I really know? Roger says Phuket is dying. They have to be as strict as possible so they can get back opened up. Yeah, 100%. So is Pattaya. You should see the streets of Pattaya. People send me pictures and videos every day. Some of my friends that live there. It's unbelievably disparaging to see just how empty the streets are. And my concern is for the businesses, for the Thai people, especially the homeless people. Mark says, just say no. We know how that went. Yeah, right. Jay says, we'll probably turn into an annual inoculation, such as the good old flu shot. No biggie, just do it. I hear you, Jay. Philtho says, LK Metro in Ascension. Yes. Tim says, Mark, yep, we do. Thailand backpacker Pattaya is changing so fast. It's going to be so much different. That's 100% correct. It will be. I frequent Pattaya as much as I can. I enjoy Pattaya. I like the people there. I have many, many, many friends there. And I always have a good time when I go. Tim says, I see a lot of vloggers in Thailand trying to put a positive spin on things on YouTube. Well, there is things to be positive about. Like, these plans that are put in place are all positive plans. They're all things positive. They're all things good. All things that could bring about significant change to Thailand. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's just the implementation, the execution. These plans have been going around for months and months and months, but the execution is the part. The execution of the plan is the part where we've seen problems. Again, not blaming it on the Thai government because we don't know, but that's where the problems have come up. So if the execution of the plan they have now, if it works, then should be fine. Shouldn't have any issues at all, really. And you're right, Thailand backpacker. Pattaya will be much different. It was already different. I was there the day before this last round of shutdowns were implemented. It was already a different place. So it's going to be even more different now. And I'm excited to see what it looks like. I really am. And there's nothing wrong with putting a positive spin on that. When I read you guys this stuff, it's not to put a negative light on it or to scare somebody or anything like that. It's simply to let you know what's going on. It's the reality, the reality of what's happening. I just report it. That's all. Tim says, Jeremy, I understand that. All medicine takes time to work. Of course. Yeah. I agree. Autumn says T-minus 11 days and counting, but not heading to Southeast Asia yet. Yep, you're going to Mexico, right? Congratulations to you, Autumn. Oh, by the way, for all my channel members, I will have additional video and pictures on the video I released yesterday. The hottest Filipina in Thailand. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a good 8 minutes worth of watching, and it's worth it. It really is. But I will have an additional content on that video, and I will put it in the channel member section only for you guys. MedTech says, I've been trying to avoid Q, yet I will return by Q4 even if Q is still mandated. some people are breaking it down to it just being that simple, to be honest with you, MedTech. It's that right now, that's the reason people are not coming, is because of the 14-day queue, and because there's nothing really open, nothing to do once you get here. So by Q4, there should be a substantial amount of progress at the very least. Tim says some of those vloggers also own nightclubs and patio. Well, I'm sure they do. And people are coming up with very creative ways to make money and to keep their businesses afloat as well. John Paul, greetings from Brooklyn, New York. Greetings to you, sir. Thank you for dropping by. Great job on the videos, brother. I have been watching you from before the C word hit. John, I hate to remove your first comment, but we don't even put that word on this channel to avoid repercussions from YouTube. But thank you very much for watching, and you can continue to comment as much as you want to. Just don't use that word. And I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. Roger says, Mick, Q was worth it for me. Personal decision. Yeah, you've had a blast since you've been here, Roger. So, it is what it is. And you've had a good time, for sure. I know you've had a good time, for sure. Let's see. What else do I have for you guys? Oh, we have our first PayPal of the day. That's interesting. $10. $10. PayPal. I don't know if the emails will come through, guys. I have a VPN on my phone, but that was a $10 PayPal. And I very, very much appreciate that. I don't think Jim's thrown out a challenge yet, but that was $10 PayPal. And I very much appreciate it. Very, very much appreciate it. This is from, I hope they don't mind me showing well, I won't show the business name, but can you guys see that? $10. $10. Good way to start. Thank you very much, sir, or ma'am, whoever you are. I really, really appreciate that. And it helps keep the channel running, man. It really does. I appreciate it very, very much. John Paul says, did not know that. Roger that. It's okay, man. People that are new to the chat, we have to get them used to the verbiage and things that we use in here, so YouTube doesn't think we're trying to do anything bad in the live chats. No problem at all. Tom says, when should I go to Thailand? Plan A, November 21st. Plan B, January 2022. Plan C, October 2022. I think Plan B is a good one. I think Plan B is the safest bet. Plan A should work, but Plan B will probably be your safest bet, Tom, to be honest with you. I think January of 22 would be the safest bet for you, to be honest. I think October 2022 is that's just waiting too long. I think everything will be back cruising by then. That's just my opinion. Ottoman Asia says, I will come under two conditions. One, no queue, and two, a surrounding country, open borders without queue also. That's a very, very good point, meaning if you need to get out of the country, you can go to another country right around here and don't have to worry about the queue. So very good. Very, very good. Let's see. John says, you're welcome. So that must have been from John. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. I very, very, very much appreciate that. Lyle says the original content is very good. Waiting on the additional content. I saw Philthos call dibs on the bikini. Yep, we're gonna have to auction that off, I guess. MedTech says, I understand, Mr. McGee. Yeah. Oh, we have a $10 super chat. Thank you very, 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 very much from Tom. From Tom. Thank you very, 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 very much from Tom. Thank you, Tom. Well, it says the original content is very good. Waiting on the additional content. I saw Phil. Yeah. We'll get there. MedTech says, I understand, Mr. McGee. Yet I have too much to dissolve. To move this year. I'm working upon it, but 2021 will be a visit, not a life-changing move. That's good. Come visit, make sure everything's in place. And you'll be all good. Griffin says thumbs up, and JC will love you. That's true. Hit the thumbs up button, guys. Tim says, when should I go to Thailand? A, as soon as I can, after Thailand calms down. I guess that's B. And C, never. And if you say, if you say plan C, I will find you. I would say plan A. Mr. Jim Pale is back. He says, hey guys, I have a challenge for you. I challenge you guys to fill in for me tonight to try to raise $100 for the channel. I think most of you know what I do here in Tampa. Jim does helpingothersrightnow.com. That's his website. And he does a lot of good helping people there. 1 second. This is an important email here. Let's see. Okay, no problem. All right, so Jim is challenging everybody to let's get $100 worth of cash today. That would be great. It'd be great. We at 90, 80, because I'll count PayPal and Super Chats. It doesn't matter to me. So we're only 80 away. Anybody want to bring it up to 80? Jim says, I have a young mother that is 24 years old, and I had to put everything that I could to make sure she had a roof over her head tonight for her and her 2 small children. So will you guys please pull together for $100 for the channel tonight? Jim, I think that's a reasonable request because you are always the one putting in these challenges, and love you for it and appreciate you for it, man. And we definitely hope that you get the support you need for the lady. 100% for the lady. Jim says, I will try to be more active tomorrow night, but I had to make sure there was a roof over these kids' head tonight. We understand, Jim, and thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Really appreciate it. He says, guys, you can do it. Guys, you can do it. I like that. I really like that. Well, I'll understand. Joshua says, hello, Jeremy. I'm coming to Phuket in July. Hopefully the sandbox no queue will still be on. I'm fully magic shot and ready to travel. Please tell me Phuket will be worth traveling to in July. I wouldn't hold my breath. That's my personal opinion, Joshua. I would not hold my breath. There's already a slight delay. So, you know, I wouldn't hold my breath. I would probably come in August rather than July, to be honest with you. Give it a little more time, see what happens. I think that would be the way to go. That's just my opinion. Not saying it won't be ready in July, but if you want to be able to experience more and more of Phuket and like more and more what Phuket's really like, I would wait till August, to be honest. I would wait till August. Thailand Backpacker said, I heard Cambodia is struggling now as well. They are. I heard that too. I read it in an article. Not good. Thailand Backpacker says, no way Phuket will be ready in July. I mean, I can't say that they will be. I can't say that they won't be. I can just say that I certainly hope they are. But I agree. Roger McGee says, I'll throw in $25 if 2 other people do. Ooh, can we get that done? Thank you, Roger McGee. That's awesome. 25, 25, and 25 will be 75, and that'll be perfect for a live stream today. Roger McGee, thank you very, very much for throwing that out there. I really appreciate that, Roger. Lyle says, so Jim Pell challenge from now 30 minutes, 75 in contributions. I'll throw the last 25. Make me pay. I love you, Lyle. I appreciate that. So we get the 25s in. Lyle's going to pay. Make Lyle pay. That's what I say. Make Lyle pay. I like that. Thailand Backpacker says July is low season with plenty of rain. That's true. It will be rainy in July, and even in August it'll be raining. So you have to kind of be careful there. Ross says, if you're looking for things to do in Pattaya, I've heard Tinder is a great place to go. That's always the case. Tinder and Thai friendly, definitely. I have no experience. Maybe someone else can provide insight. I'll leave that one alone for the time being, Ross. Autumn says there are some people in Phnom Penh are really hurting. No food coming to them through roadblocks to help stop the spread in Cambodia. I heard about that. Richard Cyphers, thank you, man. Great show. $10 in super chat right there. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Oh, Griffin just sent $25 via the Cash App. So there's 125. There's another 25 from Roger. Roger sent via PayPal. So there's two 25s. Lyle, I believe that constitutes your 25, and brother, we'll be wrapped up with the challenge already. There's Roger's 25. It came through PayPal. Did I show you the Cash App? The one that came through Cash? Hang on. Cash App from Griffin. I don't want to show his whole name on here, so I'm just gonna do like this. I'll show you the G. There you go. $25 from Griffin. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Griffin and Roger. I really appreciate that. Tremendously appreciate that. Thank you, Richard Cyphers, for the super chat as well. And Mr. Tom, thank you very much for your super chat as well, guys. I really appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. I don't want to minimize. Anytime anybody makes a monetary contribution to the channel, you are helping me out significantly and helping out the channel significantly. Getting ready to buy, but I got to get some better studio equipment here for these live streams for sure. 100%. One second, guys. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Thailand Backpacker says, I think Cambodia will open much later than Thailand. I think so too. Filtho says, well, I'm fading fast. May have to catch the rest on replay. Peace and health all around. Okay, Filthos, get some rest, buddy. And we'll talk to you soon. Ross says, the Thailand Backpacker, Cambodia has always been way behind Thailand for everything. That's true. Lyle says 15 to go. Oh, $15 more to go? $15 more to go, Lyle? Okay, fair enough. $15 more. I'm sure somebody will put $15 or will send $15. Jim says they put this girl out with nowhere to go with her 2 kids because her mother will not be living there no more. She has to be put into a nursing home. That's sad, Jim. Sorry to hear about that, brother. Really sorry to hear about that. Hope you get what you need for sure. Did I miss your comment? There is many people out here that have no compassion. This young lady's mother lived in a 55 plus community and the daughter was taking care of her. She's now being put into a nursing home, and they put this girl out with nowhere to go with her 2 kids because her mother will not be living there no more. She had to be put into a nursing home. Sorry to hear that, Jim, and really, really hope everything works out. Really hope everything works out. So we're going to keep I'm going to go back to another news story. We'll keep talking and see if we get the remaining $15. That would be amazing, guys. Really would be amazing. Let me see if I can update you on. Let me give you the latest update today. This is today's update with the 3,095 infections and 17 people who are no longer with us. First, Jim says, guys, thank you for understanding and thank you for having my back on the challenge tonight for the channel. Thank you for bringing it up, Jim. We really, really appreciate it. Looking for that other $15 so Lyle can throw his 25 in, and then we'll have a $100 PayPal night. That'll be great. Plus the super chats. You guys rock, man. Absolutely right. It says the Thai Public Health Ministry has announced the 3,095 new cases, along with the 17 people who are no longer with us from the past 24 hours of provincial totals. 877 of the new infections emerged from Thai prisons again after as Griffin said earlier, after 3 days of reports with high numbers of cases coming out of Bangkok prisons. Diners may be able to eat at dark red zone restaurants if a decision is made today to ease some of the restrictions for the tightest controlled provinces. The decision will be announced today, but it will only be for 25% of tables or perhaps one person per table, according to sources. The CCSA yesterday discussed easing of restrictions surrounding restaurants and food outlets. Starting tomorrow, which will be Sunday here, it says visitors to Phuket must either be one, fully magic shotted, or two, have a certificate that's no older than 72 hours that says you are negative. The Phuket governor says that the island province is still coming up with 10 to 20 cases per day, and if people can't produce either of the documents, they will not be permitted to enter. An earlier decision to allow a 14-day queue as a third alternative appears to have been scrapped. So they are extremely serious in Phuket about making sure that they get everything under control. The governor says the island is determined to reduce the number of cases and restrict entry. If not, they cannot come. That's a quote. The world's aviation industry, one of the hardest hit over the past 14 months, agrees that it is going to be a long recovery back to normal. I won't read you all that stuff. Let's see. All inmates in Thai prisons will be given jabs starting next month. The announcement of the nationwide prison jab campaign follows this week's outbreak of infections, nearly 3,000 inmates in 2 Bangkok prisons. There have also been outbreaks at prisons in Chiang Mai and the southern province of Narathiwat. I think is how you say that. I believe. Lyle says 29 up, 6 down, killing the trolls today. Good. I love to have the thumbs down. That means the trolls are here and they were watching. They want to hear it. They want to. I guess they like what I don't know why they like watching my channel. I have no idea. No idea. So, what is Thailand doing about it is the question. Well, here is while we're waiting to see if that last $15 comes in, which I'm hoping for to see Lyle throw his 25. Thailand is urged, this is also from the Tiger, Thailand urged to join in reducing global prisoners for the illness. After it was revealed that nearly 3,000 inmates in Thailand prison systems had the illness, criticisms and calls are mounting to follow the global trend of reducing the total number of prisoners in the country. Human rights groups are calling for the release of inmates held on minor charges, with Amnesty International Thailand requesting those in unnecessary custody to be minimized. In an open letter sent to the Supreme Court President and Justice Ministry on Tuesday. Basically, what that article, I read that article earlier, and basically what they're saying is people that are in there for non-violent crimes should be released. And, you know, I really have no opinion one way or the other. I can see both sides of the story. I don't know which one's correct. I really don't. I have no idea. Tim says, why? Why they like watching your channel? Well, maybe they like being educated while being entertained as well. Yep. And then they hit the thumbs down button because they see that we get contributions on this channel, and they see that the community itself, the community, is growing. More people are coming to the live stream. More people are staying longer. The family continues to grow. The content on the channel continues to to come out. And I just won't go away. That was not a PayPal, by the way, guys. That was an email. Roy says, breaking news now, Taiwan are making new controls. Yes, I read that yesterday in an article about Taiwan. They are definitely setting some new restrictions in Taiwan. In terms of, let's see, Tim says, what is the violent crime rate in Thailand? Somebody can Google that real quick. I don't have any idea right off the top of my head, Tim. It used to be fairly low. I do know that. But as the businesses have been out of business and as people have been forced into poverty, that rate has grown a little bit. I don't think it's went up like bad, went up in any real big numbers or anything. But you never know. It is what it is. Also, I would have to say that Thailand, for me, living in Thailand is a blessing, and I think living here, and being safe is something that's coming very soon. The safety factor has always been here. This is a place where, like, I ran a motorbike. I've been riding it for probably 2 years now. But when you drive your motorbike and you park it at a mall, at a gas station, at someone's house, whatever, you just leave your helmet hanging on the handlebars. Nobody bothers your motorbike. If you leave your keys in there, somebody will bring you your keys. They don't. It's very safe here in Thailand. It always has been. Now there are little spikes in crime here and there, just like anywhere else, but there are no. I still feel safe, is what I'm trying to say. And when I travel, I feel safe. I don't go, even when I'm in Pattaya late at night, I feel safe. And that was when there were a lot of people there. I still feel safe. It's an overall safe country. Hello, Pan Pan. Good to see you this morning. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Pan Pan is my friend, in case you guys didn't know. But I really want to thank everybody. I really want to thank everybody for coming to these live streams, showing your support. I genuinely appreciate the contributions, whether it be super chat, Cash App, PayPal, whatever. Genuinely appreciate those. That just fuels and keeps, and I save it. And when I'm able to travel again, we'll certainly have some money in the till and be able to go some places, do some things. And I'll keep you guys informed. I'll actually go to Pattaya and show you what it looks like. I'll try to get to Phuket if I can and show you what it looks like. But right now I'm working from home part-time. Part of the time I'm in the office, part of the time I'm at home. And when things get back to normal, I'll be working again, 45 hours a week, and we'll be back to the same old. Be looking for vacations and holidays. So we'll be building travel funds for that, which I'm very excited about. Ross says, 10, violent crime is very low here. Largest crimes are theft, spousal abuse, and drunk driving. That's true. That's absolutely correct, Ross. Drunk driving seems to be, to me, the biggest problem in Thailand. But there's always some type of crackdown on it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Jim says, Lyle, Roger, Griffin, and the rest of DoMoreLife family, we have a great family here. I look forward to Friday nights when we can all get together. I look forward to it too, Jim. I love having these live streams. Tim says, Ross, I know, I was just wondering how low it was. I don't have a number for you, Tim, but I can get it for sure. Jim Pell says, check your email. Okay, I will. Roger McGee says thumbs up. Jim Ross says lack of guns helps to keep crime down. 1 second, I got an email. Let's see. Okay. I'm checking my email, Jim. I just don't know which one you sent it to, brother. Or I don't have an email from you right now, Jim. Maybe it'll come through in a second. Lyle says 15 minutes left, need $15, make me pay. Lyle says, I love it. Got the the gym attitude. 15 minutes left, need $15 to make me pay. So if somebody throws in 15 more dollars, he's going to hit it with them. Hey, Tom O'Connell just kicked in $15 in super chat. I hope you take that, Lyle, because he says challenge met ? Typically we do it through PayPal, Tom, just to let you know. But super chats fine with me. The only difference is PayPal. I get it right away, and with super chats, it's the next month when they get them. Plus, YouTube takes 30%. I don't know if you know that or not, but they do. So anyway, Tom stepped up and put $15 in the super chat, and it will be up to Lyle to accept that or not. And we'll see what he does. But Tom, nevertheless, thank you very, very much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Glad you're here and definitely stepping up. Lyle says, yes, Tom, bless you. There you go. Ross says, Tim, my biggest fear when leaving the house. 2.58 of 100. Hang on a second. Jim says, I just put $15 on Chime to make Lyle pay. I just haven't received it yet, brother. That's all. I just hadn't gotten the email. That's all there is. There's Lyle's $25 in PayPal. Bringing a big smile to my face. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Lyle. We'll see if it comes through on email. Yeah, that came through on email. But it's to a different email address than what Jim would send. There is Lyle's 25. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Love you, mean it. And that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Let's see here. Let me go back up. Ross was talking about something here. Tim says 2.58 of 100,000 people. Yep, that's the correct email, Jim. I just haven't gotten it yet. It hasn't come through. I have a VPN on my phone, so that may have something to do with it. Why it's being delayed. So no worries, brother. Trust me. You just said you sent $15 on Chime. There's nobody in this chat that doesn't believe you. I assure you. 2.58 of 100,000 people. That sounds pretty low, right? Thailand Backpacker says Osaka and Japan now it's shutting things down. Oh my! I thought Japan was doing good, man. Ross says, Tim, my biggest fear when leaving the house. Then he retracted his message, and there's another one. Lyle says, yes, Tom, bless you. Jim says, put 15 on there. I'll get it, Jim. I'll get it. If I don't get it by the end of this live stream, I'll show it tomorrow. Don't worry. Everybody knows you did what you said you're going to do. Tim says, Ross, with the driving I have seen on YouTube in Thailand, I do not blame you. Yeah, driving is very dangerous in Thailand. You have to be very careful. I mean, that's just the reality. Jim says, glad I can say it for a challenge. Thank you, Jim. As always, appreciate you, brother, and glad you got it started for sure. Ross says, getting accident and saying it's my fault. Yeah. That's another problem here. SC says it's 500,000 enough to live for 20 years. SC, there's a video on this channel. Go to my homepage and you see that guy Ross and Rayon. he did a video, and I called it the exact amount of money you need to retire in Thailand. And it's not the exact amount of money, but it is a formula for the exact amount of money that you would need to retire if you were not receiving any kind of, or if you're receiving benefits, how much you need to save, all that good stuff. So, with that being said, check out that video on this channel, and it's a great video. It's got I don't know how many views it's got. It's got to be approaching 100,000 now, but it's a very, very good video that Ross did. And Ross says SC depends on how you spend it. That's very true. Tim says Jim Pell's word is beyond gold. That's true. He always keeps his word. Lyle says, Sent, I got it, Lyle. Appreciate you, brother. Love you for it. And want to thank Tom and Richard Cyphers for their contributions as well on Super Chat. Much appreciated. Essie says, why are the Chinese and Korean talk and Korean taking over there? I haven't heard about taking over. Is any pretty girl in Pattaya a professional? Some of your questions are just a little bit over the top. SC, I apologize. I'm going to remove them. We don't want YouTube to flag us. I don't care what you say, just so you know. You can say anything you want to, but have to abide by YouTube's guidelines and standards. And is there any pretty girl in Pattaya a professional? I'm sure there are, but I mean, I'm sure there are. I just finding them would be up to you. So no worries on the comments that you made. Don't worry about it. Hey, gotta love Thailand. Good to see you, man. I almost missed your comment there. Do not worry about your comments, and just hang with us here, and you'll kind of learn how we talk in this live stream. I appreciate you being here, SC. Thank you. Jim says, Lyle, you always get to say you make me pay. It was my turn. I wanted to make sure the 15 got there, so you have to pay. Oh, he's already paid. Jerry Time says, how does the Buriram magic shot rule impact Franks? That's a good question. You know, according to the reading, it said if you reside in Buriram, you had to register for it, or you had to get it. I would, based on the reading itself, the general assumption would be that it would apply to anyone who resides there. And that would include Franks or furlongs, foreigners in Thailand. But I don't know that with 100% certainty. So I can't say that with 100% certainty. So SC says, sorry, brother, no need to apologize. Don't worry about that, SC. If you make a comment and YouTube doesn't like it, we'll remove it, and you'll learn how to comment on this live stream for sure. We just make sure we abide by the rules. That's all there is to it. Jim says, well, I actually sent it first. It just didn't get there in time. LOL. That's funny. Tim says, pro what? Bartender, hairdresser? Oh, come on, Tim. don't provoke the guy. Lyle says, sure, Jim Pell. That's funny. You guys crack me up. Absolutely crack me up. So Thailand travel is, even domestic travel has been difficult, but the international travel coming to Thailand is what's going to refuel the tourism sector, the tourism industry in Thailand. Without the tourism industry, Thailand's going to have a real problem. They need to hope that it grows extremely fast, and I hope it grows extremely fast, because there are so many businesses that are closed, so many people out of work, and you know, we want to see the Thais prosper, and we want to see everybody get back on their feet for sure. So international tourism is a big deal for Thailand. It accounts for a little over 20% of the total GDP, and like in Pattaya, for example, tourism accounts for 80% of the city's GDP. Jerry Time says, do you think the new magic shot rule will spread to other provinces? I do. Absolutely. I do. Tim says, shucks. Yeah, you can't brag them on. Not sure what happy time you're ready for, Pepe, but everybody's ready for happy. I think Ed S. They should start letting people in who have been given their jabs with no queue. It's like 100% effective, and people who got it don't even need. Yep, we heard about that. Got to remove your comment, brother. Too many words in there, too much detail. But thank you for the message. Thank you for the comment. We heard about America, and you know, I agree with your statement. 100%. Just too many words in there for YouTube. Trying to protect the channel, Ed. Just trying to protect the channel. That's all. Nothing against you in any way, form, or fashion. Jim says, gotta run, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow night. Lyle, have a great night. Thanks for taking my place. You too, Roger. JC, talk to you later. Okay, Jim. Good luck with your family there, man. I really hope it goes well for you. And guys, you can go visit Jim's website if you want to help out at helpingothersrightnow.com. That's his website. Jerry Time says, also, do you think if you don't have a magic shot, you won't be allowed to do Q in Thailand in the future? I think that's a possibility. I do think that's a possibility because right now, as of right now, there's a standard 14-day queue in Thailand. Doesn't matter if you haven't had any jabs or if you've had one or both jabs. You still have to do a 14-day queue. So, yeah, that's a tough one, Jerry, but it's possible. It is. Jim, you take care too, bud. Thank you for dropping by and revving things up a little bit like you always do. I appreciate you, man. Love you, and very much appreciative. Lyle says, see you tomorrow, Jim. Roger says, night sleep in. I hear you, Roger. Jim said, there's Jim's website. If you guys want to go to it, check it out. It's a nice website, and he's doing a lot of good stuff down there in Tampa. Ed says, what is the reason for Thailand being so overcautious? Just don't get it. They're scared. That's what I see. That's what I read. That's what I notice. That's what I fear. Or not what I fear, but that's what I fear is what I see, Ed. And that's really my answer. You know, I think that maybe Thailand thought they were going to be able to skirt through this thing and just roll out the jabs a little bit here, a little bit there, because they had the queue in place, and you know, they were doing everything. Everything was looking better. I give them that. Everything was looking better. And then you had the infamous. You had two clusters that happened at one time, and one was a gambling cluster, and the other one was entertainment venues in Bangkok. And that brought on this kind of third wave thing that we're going through right now. So, you know, just scary, I think. Let's see. MedTech says, how can you be sure that YouTube will demonetize a video due to comments? Do you have experience or of correlation between comments and demonetization? I don't personally, but I do from other channels. So, like, I watch other channels and watch them and see comments and various things happen to them for sure. So that's just that's how sure I am. Plus, all you have to do is read their community guidelines and then their rating system for ads. And you can understand if you had a monetized YouTube channel, you'd be able to easily understand that tech. You just have to read their guidelines and policies. Alderman Asia says, later, Jim. Ross says, with USA easing restrictions should lead to other countries following. I agree. I agree 100%. Tim says scared plus Thailand relies on tourism to survive. That's true. And part of tourism is security. If people don't feel safe, they are not going to come. 100% correct. I agree. Lyle says, Ross, I think every country should do what is best for their population. I agree with you, Lyle. I think as things change, I think that well, Thailand's definitely going to do what they think is best for Thailand. But as Filthos mentioned earlier, it's a top-down power thing here. So essentially, you have a few people, by a few, I mean a couple hundred, that make the policies that they think are best, and then the people have to follow it. It's not the other way around. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Thailand Backpacker says U.S. will be the first country back to normal. Very possible. Very possible. Rhoda says everyone should be scared with videos coming out of India. Take the jab, guys. India's is no, everyone. You can't say that, Roger. That violates advertiser guidelines. Can't say everybody should be. But yes, there is a growing concern about the India situation. I agree with you, and we don't want that to happen here in Thailand for sure, 100%. MedTech says I do have a monetized channel, but it's vehicle based. Well, then you probably don't have a lot to worry about in terms of what you talk about. Yeah, so read next time you go to monetize and you have to do the reviews and stuff. Read all the sections of the harmful content, the shocking content, all of that stuff. Read all those guidelines and be sure you put your you'll understand then what the monetization requirements are. So that should put things into perspective. India nightmare. It's definitely concerning. MedTech says, so you are a VDub guy. I like that. Lyle said that to MedTech. I like that. VDub. Very good. Very good. Very good. I really don't have much more today, guys. Tomorrow, I plan on having a little bit different discussion. We're going to talk about women and how to meet them during the pandemic. I really just said that word, didn't I? But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to have any breaking news updates. I'll also throw that in there too. We're going to be talking about if you are in a Western country right now, should you be sending money to the girls that are calling from Thailand? We're going to discuss all that stuff tomorrow. So I encourage you guys to join tomorrow's live stream as well. It's going to be some very interesting conversation, I have to say. MedTech says, no, only own 3 VWs in my life. I'm a Ford guy. So am I, MedTech. I'm a Ford guy myself. That's awesome, dude. Do you have a Mustang? That's what I want to know. And what kind? Prep for it says, one good thing is that I have now saved 3 times as much travel cash when I finally go to Pattaya. You are going to have a blast in Pattaya. Prep for it. That's for sure. Thank you for being in the chat, too. I figured you were listening. Lyle says, woohoo, women. I know, right? Thailand Backpacker says, just meet them virtually during the P word. Tinder is an amazing thing. It is. I'm going to remove that just because of the P word. I know I just said it and I didn't mean to. But that's not something we want on there for YouTube. Thailand Backpacker, I appreciate you being in the chat today. You've been here the whole time. Thank you for your comments. And what we typically try to do, just so you guys know, is we feed each other information and we provide information to each other. And I try to provide information, and sometimes I'm wrong and people call me out on it, and we get to the solution, and everything always seems to work itself out for the best. So thank you guys tremendously for sharing your knowledge and your information. I really, really, really appreciate that. I have 2 peeps, says Roger McGee. What are peeps? Lyle says first car 73 Mustang convertible. Wow. Oh, Jeeps. Tim says I have 2 Jeeps myself. I think is that what you mean, Roger? Jeeps. I'm not sure. My dad had a '66 Mustang, uh, and I loved it. One of my relatives had I forgot what year it was, but it was a Cobra. It was a very interesting car, and I fell in love with that thing. My grandfather had I want to say '68 Mercury Cyclone Cobra Jet 427 engine in it, 3-speed automatic, and it was just a beast of a car. I mean, just fast. It was the old fastback style, and it was amazing. They only built 500 of those, but I love cars too, so we can talk about that at some point in time. MedTech says I had a '74 Thunderbird in the collection. 4 seats, awesome, dude, awesome. My dad actually owned remember the Thunderbird SE, the supercharged Thunderbirds? He had one of those too, and it was nice. It was really nice. Tim says my first car that I bought on my own was a '75 Chevy Chevelle Candy Apple Red with black interior, 350 small block. Ooh, nice engine for sure. Roger says fans, people. I got you. you have two fans. I hear you, Roger. I hear you. But speaking of fans, if you want additional content, additional information, if you want to vote on topics for live streams and for videos, if you want to be a part of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on at DoMoreLife, consider clicking the join button below. It's a $2.99 all access channel membership, and it recurs every month. You can cancel it at any time, but it's less than a cup of coffee, and it helps support the channel. So I would just wanted to make sure I threw that out there, guys. McTech says, yeah, I got an SC in my junkyard. I hear you, man. Lyle says, new dimension to JC, car guy. Yeah, I'm not a super car guy, but I definitely like cars. I definitely like cars. So we'll end this on a positive swing here of one day I'll be able to own a better car than I have now, which is a motorbike. And hopefully the tourism in Thailand will come back sooner rather than later. I encourage you guys to come back to tomorrow's live streams where you can ask all the questions you want. We will, as a group, answer all of them. Somebody can always look up something while I'm talking. That's how we do it here. We learn and we teach each other how to do more life. And that's the whole purpose of this channel is living life one day at a time and getting better at it one day at a time. If you guys find your favorite DoMoreLife video, feel free to share it on your social media. That would help the channel grow in terms of subscribers. I would greatly appreciate it. I want to say I love you all for coming, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who threw in a comment tonight in any caliber, whether I had to delete it or not. I still appreciate your thoughts in the live chat. I also want to say I appreciate my channel members being here. I appreciate Jim and the other guys, Lyle, Roger, Mr. Richard Cyphers, Tom. Thank you guys for your contributions. If I left anybody out, I very much apologize. Robert N., longtime moderator and great guy, good friend. Really appreciate you guys being here tonight, and definitely appreciate your contributions. Definitely appreciate your contributions. So with that being said, I think I'm going to wrap it up, and I hope you guys here in Thailand have a wonderful Saturday, and everyone in the West have a awesome, super awesome Friday night. Jim's email did not come through yet, but I assure you it will, and when it does, I will show you tomorrow during the live stream. So everyone have a wonderful and blessed evening, morning, whatever you do today. Be sure you do more life. I'll see you guys tomorrow.